Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I know I'm on here a little bit early, but I forgot I have a meeting. I had a meeting at 10:30, but we're gonna get it at going at 11. So I have to get in and give you all as much as I can before I get ready to head to that meeting. So I wasn't able to do Winning Wisdom Wednesdays yesterday because I was out of town. And I had some business to take care of. So I am doing what was supposed to be for Winning Wisdom Wednesdays yesterday, today, on this Thursday. So we are going to talk about why you should be open to adding a consulting component to your business. 5 reasons to add consulting to your business to generate more income for your bottom line. I hope you all are ready. I know I'm not going to be able to cover everything that I want to cover, but I could not continue to wrestle with this and not bring you all this information so you can start figuring out how to apply this in your small business and think a little bit bigger because y'all know this how I am. I'm all about thinking about your small business in a bigger perspective and in a bigger way. So, let's go ahead and dive into it so I can try to paint the background of this picture, right? So, I don't know if you all have been paying attention to like the different things that have been happening, like in the economy, the different things that have been happening with some of these larger businesses. A lot of them are filing bankruptcy, a lot of them are condensing, a lot of them are getting bought out, and some of them are even trying to expand to additional markets. And some of them have been successful and some of them have not. So the thing is, um, you have a major opportunity to come in and help equip these businesses with the change making that they have to go through, with the digital innovation that they have to go through, with the strategic consulting guidance that they have to go through. You have an opportunity to do that. And I know some of you may be saying, well, Tanika, I don't necessarily want to do it on that level. No, that seems a little bit high for me. However, I want to challenge you to think about your business still a little bit differently. Okay. So even if you don't want to shoot for that high, if you are here to say, hey, let me know so I can speak and share this with somebody. Even if you don't necessarily want to shoot for that high, y'all know how I am about B2B business. And y'all also know how I am about business on social media and business in real life because they're two different things. So for people who have a social media standards based business, they're going to hear what I'm saying and it's going to go completely over their heads. They're not going to think that this applies to them, which it could if it was just a shift of a mindset, right? But I've always been somebody who has facilitated the idea that you should always want to aim higher in your business. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a live about going back to the basics in your business that was centered around doing one of three or possibly all of three things that I mentioned. So I talked about going higher, which means you're going to serve a more affluent market, or you're going to add a B2B business component to your business. I talked about going wider, where you can do a one to many approach. So you can talk to a lot of people in one setting at one time, or plant a lot of opportunities that get you in front of a lot of people at one time. That way, you're not having to exhaust yourself so much as far as like trying to do one to ones, but you get opportunities that do the one to many approach for you. And by the time you get through leaving that room, if you've done a great job, you have the opportunity probably to work with at least 5 to 10 people in that room, right? There should be at least 5 to 10 people. Hey, Mel, should be at least 5 to 10 people that are coming up to you after you have given your presentation, after you have given your speech, after you have delivered your keynote, your workshop, whatever it is, That one-to-many approach gives you the opportunity to get in front of many of the decision makers that are the ones that are writing the checks and that are approving, the procurement process, whatever the case may be. And some of them may not even necessarily have those processes. So what we think again is small business on social media is completely different than what small business is in real life. That's why I don't get caught up in social media business, because social media business is not real to me. That's just my personal opinion. When you come off of social media and you come into the real world metrics of what small business is, the dynamics are completely different. The strategies are completely different. The components are completely different. You have to play a different type of game, right? Because it's a different type of environment. So when we think in terms of actually what is the definition of a small business, well, yes, it is us, but let's just think in terms of like what's the real definition or what's considered a real small business, because I know this is going to blow some of you all's mind. So a small business by definition here in the United States is considered a business that is between or below 50 to 1,500 employees, and also between or below 41.5 million dollars in annual receipts. A lot of us do not personally know a business that is even generating those types of numbers personally, right? Like, I mean, like personally, like you can call this person and you know that they're generating like 40 some million in a year. That's what I mean. We know people that are hitting, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 million personally. But when you think about the wide range of what a small business is considered here in the United States, it starts to help you look at how you can offer your expertise and your service a little bit differently, because it's a lot broader and it's a lot bigger than what we see on social media. So that's why I always challenge people to, if you have the opportunity to get back out and put your foot to the streets, get back out and get to the networking events, get back out and go to the conferences, join the professional organizations. It helps you shape and mold your perspective of what real business is to look like versus what social media business is to look like, and the stats and approvals of what social media business is different, right? So again, this particular business, of course, has to be for profit, and it has to be independently owned and operated, which means it has no parent company. So this is really the definition of small business here in the United States, which means it has a range of opportunity for you. Even if you decided that you didn't want to go and do large corporations to do consulting work for, there's still a large opportunity for you yourself to still come in and tackle this market. Why? Because 99% of the US economy is ran by small business. 99% of the US economy is fueled by small businesses. Okay. And I'm getting this from the government websites and articles that have been verified across the internet as well too. But it just makes you look at things more, I guess, in a more opportune way. But it also should put you in the framework of trying to figure out, well, how can I get a piece of these millions, or not even millions, really billions, because it's a $1 billion market, consulting is. But there are literally small businesses that may not, again, be on like that larger corporation stature. So when you think about larger corporations, those are like your Walmart, your Amazon, um, your Target, let me see, those types of probably types of setups. So think about like your big long-term name brands, the Walmart, which is Walmart and Sam's, right? When you think about like the Vanderbilts, when you think about those types of business and markets, like those are like large corporation entities that, not saying you can't necessarily go and do consulting work for, because you absolutely can. People are closing consulting contracts and B2B contracts with them on a daily basis. And they bring consultants in for special projects. However, even if that's not your portion, you still have a 99% market that's here, that's labeled as small business, which is small to medium enterprises, that's SME, that is between 1 million and $41.5 million in annual receipts, that you can still offer your consulting services to. You can still find these founders who are in the early stages of their business, and they're welcoming consulting services, they're welcoming advisory guidance, they're welcoming strategic insight for people who have very, very well mastered skill sets to come in and do what it is that they need done, right? And this can be across industries. It's not one specific industry. I know right now we're in the digital age and everything is like going digital. So one of the biggest numbers in consulting right now, when we think about the top 10 trends in consulting, which I'm actually going to show this article or kind of talk about this other article, digital transformation in businesses is a huge, huge thing right now. So while we're all, again, social media business focused, while we're all focused on, how can I serve other small social media businesses in the digital transformation space, you're passing up on an opportunity to go in and serve a business that fits this criteria as deemed by the U.S. By here in the USA, between $1 million and $41.5 million. You're passing up a whole opportunity to serve businesses in this space that need this same transformational aspect. So if you are great with AI, if you are great with systems and operations, if you are great with agile methods, if you are great with project management, this is your opportunity to come in and get multi 5, 6 figure contracts to come in and help these corporate businesses, small businesses, small to medium enterprises with their digital transformation strategy, because it is a big deal. Even without that, I could tell you as a business consultant and business strategist myself, corporate trainer myself, when I work with small business owners personally, there's still a lot of struggle with digital transformation in small business owner space. Why? Because a lot of people are still scared of tech. And the more that we get over into the digital age, the more you're going to have to welcome tech and automations into your business, which you should want to do anyway, especially since now, I think my coach talked about this the other day, how the owner of ChatGPT has now, they now have predicted that a one person business can reach up to like $10 million. So that's only done with systems and automation. So why wouldn't you want to try to embrace the fact of seeing like how you could take that ease off of you as a solopreneur? Because even if you hire contractors to help you and assist you to fill that work, you're still considered a one person business, right? You're still considered a solopreneur in a one person business. But now again, it has been predicted that a one person business can generate $10 million on its own. You don't have to have a large team anymore. That has been proven also during COVID, because everything had to go digital. There were a lot of layouts. There were a lot of people that didn't want to work because there was such an influx in finances that were being provided and provision that was being provided by the government. So a lot of people didn't want to work anymore. So these larger corporations was basically like, y'all not going to stop us from making no money. That's why we started seeing like in Walmart, all of the cash registers started disappearing, because they was like, we still got to get people checked out. We still have to make money. So, hey, Denisha. So they were like, you can't, the fact that people don't want to work is not going to stop us from creating some sort of digital innovation to help us continually to bring in revenue for our stores. Or otherwise, they would be doing what a lot of brands are doing right now, which is filing bankruptcy, which we know, I don't know what dimension, if ever, that would ever happen. We know Walmart ain't gonna never file. They ain't gonna never like not have money, right? But I just want you all to start getting into the idea of thinking about these things on a broader and larger perspective. Because again, I posted a status yesterday that says you are way more than your title. We get too hung up on titles versus what it is that we can actually pump out and push out from a skill set. We are way too caught up in titles. You need to be dissecting your title as far as what skill set comes with their title, so you can know how to properly monetize your services, so you can know how to properly monetize or productize your services. Let me also say that, because productizing your services, that's also a form of digital transformation as well. So you need to be able to understand what comes with their title, because I can tell you just from when I used to work in my 9 to 5 as well too. A lot of them leadership positions and upper level executives and management positions, a lot of them didn't know what they were doing, but they had a title, so they just exercised their authority for their title. They didn't really know how to operate the skill set or navigate the skill set. And also, too, that was kind of at the fault of the company to some extent, because in my head, the way that it should work, especially when you have somebody that's coming into leadership and into management, there should be some sort of internal coaching program or internal guidance that is being provided to help them step into and fulfill their role. It has to be. Because in my head, it's honestly hard to keep them accountable for something that you have not necessarily groomed them for, which they actually hire consultants to come in and do that, right? Mel, yeah, I don't care about the title, just make sure my money is right. Exactly. And that's what we want. The thing is, we want the money. So why not take the time to assess your skill set and say, hey, I know right now I'm serving on a B2C plane, but my goal eventually one day is to be able to serve a higher capacity and do less work, because it's only going to be less work. You can get paid for the same amount of work that you're doing now for a B2B, approach, and not be as exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And you got paid 5 or 6 figures for it. And then also the opportunity for their contract to last over a period of years instead of being a one-time thing. Like, I want you all to open up your perspectives a little bit more as far as what you're doing in business and what your market is, what your industry is calling for. I say all the time, hey Angelia, I say all the time that it's important for you to study your industry. As a business consultant, I study my business consulting and I study business coaching. I study those industries. So when the business coaching industry started quote unquote dying, like everybody said it was, which is not, but when the business coaching industry started quote unquote dying, like everybody was saying, I was paying attention. It wasn't dying. Let's be clear what was happening. What was happening is that it was going back to being regulated before COVID hit. So everything that is being done in the coaching industry right now, just speaking on the industry because that's the industry that I'm in, everything that is being done in the coaching industry right now is the same stuff that was already being done before COVID hit. COVID just infused a lot of money into households, so people were spending money recklessly, and everybody wanted to be a coach, and everybody wanted to be in a program, and nobody really had great intentional direction with their money. But now all of that COVID wave has started to die off, and things are going back to normal. So now you're going to have to work harder, which is not really harder; it's just back to normal. Now you're going to have the 10 to 15 touches with somebody for before you can actually get them to buy from you. That's why it's very important for you to be visible in more than one way. Social media is not the only way. I love social media. It's a tool. I show up and do it because it's an innovative tool for my industry. I know how to leverage it. I've helped my clients leverage it. But you have to have a digital strategy behind what it is that you're doing. If you're just on here shooting the crap every day, you're not going to reap the fruit of your labor of what you're doing every day, and you're going to continue to be in the cycle of frustration. It's not going to work out for you. Mel, it was weeding out the phone. Exactly. Let me put this on the screen because amen somebody. It was weeding out the phonies, the one who hopped on because of the trends. Exactly. That's exactly what COVID did. It weeded out all of the phony people that were in the coaching industry that did abuse people during that time. So now the Federal Trade Commission has started receiving all of those consumer complaints. And now all of a sudden, oh my God, coaching is so bad and we don't want to be coached. And I get it. Even as a coach myself, I've been in several bad coaching programs. I completely get it. Have paid multi 5 figures for them. Okay. However, the coaching industry is not dead, it's cleansing. We're going through a cleansing process right now. So, coaching is still needed. The skill set, let me be clear because that's the status I posted yesterday. Lose the title, even if you hate coaching of any kind, fine. Lose the title, grasp the skill set. Because again, going back to your 9 to 5, it's a reason why those executives and their leadership team that you hate looking at every day sucks at doing their job because they only know hard skills and they don't know how to marry them with soft skills. So coaching would be an opportunity for you to come in and help them grasp the concept of those soft skills, marry them with their hard skills so they can be better leaders. It's a skill set. Why not go and do that for a company and they pay you multi 5 or 6 figures for it? You don't have to call yourself a coach. You can call yourself whatever you want. But just know how to take that and put it into a skill set and an offer that makes sense, of course, for corporate language, but a skill set and an offer that makes sense. Denisha, if you're still on here, grooming, so you do personal styling. I want you to think about what you do a little bit more. You do personal styling. That's great for small business owners who want to do the average brand shoot. Great. Okay. You should still continue doing that. You shouldn't stop doing that. But what does this look like from an elevated perspective? This looks like, oh, instead of me just doing personal styling for small business owners, which are also CEOs, y'all, we also carry the executive role, let's be clear. So why not just transfer that same experience to the executive roles in the actual corporation and 9-to-5 space, because they pay people to come in and groom their executives as far as what an executive presence should be. So now you're getting paid to build confidence. Now you're getting paid to dress them accordingly. Now you're getting paid to help them build clarity around their identity. You're getting paid for multiple things now. So personal styling is not just putting on clothes. Personal styling, you have to understand what you do versus what you sell. I hope this is making sense. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Arnitris. You have to understand what you do versus what you sell. So if you're a personal stylist, you sell confidence. That's what you sell. So when you break that out, what does that look like? What are all the things that come up under confidence that executive women deal with? I can tell you several. I know several very rich executive women that are miserable because they don't have identities of their own. They're only attached to the identities of their work, and they don't know how to build a personal brand outside of that to help them go and close more sales, to help them build more corporate partnerships. All of that feeds into that. So when you get up before corporate executives and corporate decision makers in the boardroom, you're not standing up there trying to do your presentation, fumbling and fidgeting, low, your blouse cut too low so they can't even pay attention to what you're saying. Like, you have to start thinking psychologically about these things and what you're actually selling. This is the transformative result of what you're actually selling. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this because we ain't even got started yet. But I hope that this is making sense so far. Hey, Revenge Lingerie. I hope that this is making sense so far. Start to look at the possibilities of what consulting can be for you in your business to serve a business again. Because let's go over what the definition of a small business, a small to medium-sized enterprise is again, here in the United States, is an enterprise that is between or below $1 million and $41.5 million in annual receipts. That means I have a lot of customers out there that I can serve. There is no gap. It is your choice to determine whether you just want to be a boutique owner, you just want to be a personal stylist, you just want to be a photographer, Angelia. But I know Angelia aiming high, baby. We had a time yesterday. But it's all about, what do you want to do? How do you see yourself elevating in the capacity of which you're serving? And if you don't, why not? If you're like, so nigga, this is just a side hustle, okay, that's fine. It can stay that way. It doesn't have to evolve if you don't want it to, because you enjoy what you're doing and things are okay for you right now. But let me get to my 5 points because I got 20 minutes before I make it to my meeting. Hopefully this is making sense. Let me know what you all are thinking so far. But I'm probably gonna have to do a part 2 to this. Maybe later on today or tomorrow. So let me pull up my stuff. So, why you should be coaching, consulting, or educating. If you are spending your time establishing yourself as a thought leader in your industry and in your business, you are going to indirectly be educating your potential audience. Let's just say that. So you may as well create something that does that inside of your business anyway, right? Again, also going back to the post that I said yesterday, Lose the coaching title, embrace the skill set. You coach every day, whether you like to admit it or not. If you are an active parent, you are coaching your children every day. Every day. Teachers do it every day. Daycare workers do it every day. Pastors do it every day. Why not get paid for it? Why not get paid to be an educator, a consultant, or a coach? You don't have to hang on to the title. Just embrace the skill set of what you're already doing. You're getting paid at your 9 to 5 every day to coach. If you work with teams, you have a team you work with, y'all are coaching each other every day. That's what you're getting paid to do, right? And some are well not paid to do. You're getting paid to work with a team, but you're not getting paid to coach. But you're doing it already every day. You and the team that you're work with, y'all coach each other every day through problem solving, through working on projects every day. Your manager, if they're a good manager, they are coaching you every day. If they're a great manager, you have great leadership, they should be coaching you as an employee every day. If you are a small business owner that has employees, you should be coaching your employees every day. You are already doing it. You're just not being paid for it. Whatever role you are working in your 9 to 5, just think about who you work with every day and how you have to guide them through what your role and responsibility is, as far as your role and responsibility in the project, your deliverables, whatever the case may be. You are doing it every day. Okay? HR professionals, you're coaching every day. So I want you all to start thinking about this a little bit differently. So 5 reasons that you should be including a consulting component to your business to help bring more income to your bottom line. So number 1, I have 15 minutes. Number 1, flexibility of geographical service area. Again, this is a global approach, which means you have the opportunity to go serve here locally, right? You have the opportunity to go serve in a different state. You have the opportunity to go serve in a different country. Consulting trends are the highest here in the United States, the highest. Um, the UK, Europe is second. Europe is second in consulting trends, right? And then after that is Asia. So you have the ability to travel wherever you want to help fuel transformation as a consultant in several different industries across many different terrains, right? Um, and when you think in terms of like, well, Tanika, well, what should I be offering? These are 10 industry trends right now in 2024 that you can think of. So again, a growing demand for digital transformation consulting. That's here. And I guess I should share my screen so y'all can see. I wonder if I can. I don't know if I can do it right now. Oh yes, I can. Here we go. Let's see. So I want y'all to see this. These are growing trends right now in the industry, as far as what's happening right now in 2024. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. So number 1, the growing demand for digital transformation consulting. So for those of you that like to be on social media all day, every day, you like studying your analytics all day, every day, you like getting paid by Facebook all day, every day, here is a B2B welcome blueprint waiting on you. Figure out how to take the same skill set that you are using right now and do it for larger businesses that need help. Because it's one thing about it. Most people that work in a cubicle are not really considered creatives unless you are a business owner or a side hustle along with that 9 to 5. But most people who just generally work their job, their career, they're not, in most cases, creatives, because for the most part, most organizational spaces do not welcome that creativity. So they're willing to hire consultants to come in and do that type of work for them because they want them to just focus on their job. So a growing demand for digital transformation, sustainable and social impact consulting. So companies are increasingly looking for ways to incorporate sustainability into their operations and reduce environmental impact. So for those of you that are tree huggers and love the earth and are trying to figure out how to create sustainability and long-term, sustainability, consulting firms want to know because global warming. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get a piece of their pie. I don't care how y'all feel about what it is that you do. Everything you do is a business. It's a business. It has a business aspect or component to it. So you need to think about it a little bit deeper than what you do right now. So consulting firms that provide executive coaching tips, strategies, and expertise in fostering sustainable practices will gain a competitive edge. It's number two. Number three, remote work and virtual teams. There are still a lot of businesses that have not went back to the buildings yet, and they don't desire to because they don't want the overhead. So how do we continue to make this a long-term transformational process and a long-term benefit of our employees? Say we're going to market we're trying to hire. This is the benefit of working here. You get to work remote and you have flexibility with your schedule. So how do we make that something that stands out as a business as we are looking to attract and keep talent? So they're paying consultants to come in and create remote work and virtual team strategies. You all know how to do that because most of us work remote, right? Cybersecurity. Every time we look up, somebody's information is getting hacked. They are paying multi six figures, if not seven, for cybersecurity consultants to come in and solve these issues because they are getting hacked left and right, which means they are tired of it happening. They are hurting. And if you hurt too bad, you should be willing enough to pay for the solution to your pain. They are hurting. And cybersecurity is only going to get worse as the digital age continues to evolve, right? So this is very, very important. They're paying starting at multi-six. And when I say multi-six, it's like 350,000 at least. So there's no reason that if you as a consultant in tech or IT or whatever are in that space that you can't transfer their skill set to go and grab that bag for yourself, right? As a consulting component to your business. Personalization and niche-based services. So there is some wins for people who specialize, like go deep in a specific niche. So businesses are looking for more tailored advice and specialized expertise. So again, this is an opportunity for you to go deep because of what I just said. Your business is gonna do one of three things. You either finna go higher, you're gonna go wider, or you're gonna go deeper. And if you're gonna go deeper, you're gonna take one or two things that you're great at and you just gonna drive down on them until you become the world known person, the world known go-to person for what it is that you're promoting, right? They're paying top dollar for that because they know that they can offer a rarity to put them ahead of their competitors in the same space. So they're willing to pay a consultant top dollar for their rarity and for their knowledge and for their skill set to help put them ahead in their industry and help them get to a point where they say, like, hey, we innovated this first. They love it. That's a great return on investment when you get ready to advertise that, right? The rise of the gig economy is steadily rising because why? So many corporations are still dealing with the fact that they don't have the employees. So they're hiring people out to do project based work. Okay. Whatever little gigs that are coming up, project based work, consulting based work, contract based work, they're hiring people to come in and do that and pay top dollar for it. Using data analytics for decision making. Again, going back to what I just said earlier, if you're somebody, like I said, you be on social media, you be analyzing your analytics about how your content is performing, how people are engaging. This is what it is at a higher, more elevated capacity. Data analytics for decision making. Figure out how to transfer this skill set into a way for you to get paid more money. It's here. Artificial intelligence, cross functional expertise. So people that can specialize in multiple things, right? Greater emphasis on results and ROI measurement. So if you know that you have something that can get a direct result and give a great return of investment, they're looking for you. Okay? They're looking for you. So let me stop my screen and let me go back to my tips. So as I mentioned, number 2, you were doing it already without being paid for it on your 9 to 5 when you were asked for advice. So you have advised someone, you have given someone great advice on the job or in person, whatever the case may be, um, in your business, excuse me. You have done it, and that person or people have probably came back to you and said, "Thank you for sharing that information with me," or "Thank you for giving me that advice that really helped." I'm pretty sure that's happened to you more than once. You're already doing this. We do not have to overthink these things, right? Unlimited earning potential and display of thought leadership. There is no revenue cap on consulting. There is no revenue cap on coaching. Contrary to what people like to believe, there's no revenue cap on any of them. So you can make as much or as little money as you want to. It's up to you. It's up to you in the industries that you want to play in or how you want to go about it, right? The projected growth of global consulting is expected to rise. So I'll show my screen again for that. So y'all can see that I'm not lying. So according to LinkedIn, it's right here. According to LinkedIn, the global consulting services market is expected to grow a compound annual growth rate of 4.87% from 2023 to 2030, reaching 290.86 billion in 2030, which that's actually probably going to be more. I can see that being way more, right? But other sources estimate that the market will reach 354.01 billion in 2024 and 447.72 billion by 2029, which means there's room for you. So everybody doesn't have to scramble at the bottom. You don't have to scramble at the bottom if you don't want to. Is it a little bit more extensive to try to figure out? Absolutely. Is it impossible? No, it's not. The opportunity is there for you if you want the opportunity to be there. You just have to be intentional about putting what you need to put together so you can approach this strategy in the correct way. Okay? So it doesn't have to be intimidating and it doesn't have to seem impossible. You can get it done. It's very well possible. And I encourage you to get it done. I encourage you to get it done. You can start locally and then expand from there. You don't have to shoot very, very high at first, but like just start locally and build yourself up. And then number 5, creating socioeconomic immunity by setting yourself up for years through larger opportunities. So again, going back to what I said at the beginning, there are a lot of things that are shifting with these corporations that are filing bankruptcy. They're entering into new markets. If you start paying attention to how Amazon is moving, which I said I'm going to do a video about, but start paying attention to how Amazon is moving. Walmart recently moved into the health industry. They're wanting to open up health clinics, but their launch of their health clinics just failed. So they're pulling it back. They closed all of them down to pull back and revise the strategy. Well, when I see stuff like that happen, me personally, Amazon is getting into insurance. When I see stuff like that happen, it's letting me know that there are certain things that are probably getting ready to come up. And it's even confirming even more for me that consulting is going to be welcomed in those spaces as these particular giants decide to explore new territory, right? Because Walmart's attempt at opening health clinics just failed. Now, this is my perception as to why they failed, and I'm probably gonna make a reel about this to dissect this. But the rep of Walmart from the average consumer is not that we want Walmart to take care of our health. So the idea that they thought that they were going to test out these health facilities in specific cities, to me, was a fail. because Walmart just doesn't get that recognition that, oh, we really want Walmart to take care of our health. Walmart, as we have grown up over the years, has always been like that one-stop shop place. And we've seen them kind of transition a little bit more out of that kind of. But we can accept things like going into Walmart and going to the pharmacy. But you mean to tell me like y'all want to have a whole Walmart medical facility where y'all are hiring doctors and y'all are administering like, to me, that's alarming to me, because they're trying to enter into a new market. And to me, it just don't seem like a great fit, because we already have trust issues with how Walmart handles us with our groceries and everything else. So that's just my 2 cents on a high level. But when I start looking at things like that, especially as inflation continues to happen with the economy, this will be a way. Consulting will be a way when you get into B2B contracts, which is corporate contracts, government contracting, those types of things. That is going to be a way for you to create socioeconomic immunity. That's what I call it, which means no matter the economy, no matter what's going on around you, you know that the corporation's still going to have money, and you know that the government is not going to not have money. So why not go ahead and start to position yourself to be paid for by them, so you don't have to be like, dependent on certain socioeconomic things to determine whether or not you're going to be successful in this life or in your business. Go ahead and start creating that immunity. That's what I call it. Because it is going to get to a point, which I said I'm going to dissect this later. It is going to get to a point to where we see like what Walmart is doing. We see them come back. And it's going to get to a point to where you're only going to be able to, let's just say, source your stuff from very specific entities. Let's just say that. So you might as well get yourself in position to be in demand for all of these transitions that are more than likely coming, right? They're already happening. It's just most of us are not paying attention to them, but they're already happening. So when I see stuff like that happen, hey, Nikki, when I see stuff like that happen, those are the things that I'm considering. How can I create my own socioeconomic immunity to where the socioeconomic status that most people see, especially like the meme that's been going across social media, how can I create my own immunity from that? So no matter what economy is coming, no matter what our word is coming or is occurring currently, I'm creating immunity from having to be concerned about all of the things that may hinder me in my success, by saying, let me be a little bit more intentional in securing the bag in places that I know the money ain't gonna run out. I hope that makes sense, and hopefully that didn't go over nobody's head. I hope. So think bigger about what you want your real business to look like, not social media business. Think bigger about what you want it to look like, because it should be better. It should be better. It should be bigger. And if you have questions about what that looks like in your particular industry for what you particularly do right now as a small business owner, slide in my DMs. My DMs are open. Y'all know I keep my DMs open. Also, if you are somebody who's like, I like what you had to share here today, Tanika, I want to know how I can get started into looking into adding a consulting component to my business. DM me the word consult, and I will give you the 7 steps to get started. I have a document that I'll share with you. Give me to the end of the day to share it with you, because I have a few meetings today. I have quite a busy day today. But I'll share my document with you, the 7 steps to getting started with your consulting business. So DM me the word consult, or you can comment up under this video and say consult to get that document. It's 7 steps to get you started. So you don't have to try to be wrapping your brain around, how do I do this? What do I do? All of that. I'm going to give you the 7 steps to go ahead and get started. It's going to have my tools, my systems, and the steps on there, right, that you need to focus on. So DM the word consult or comment consult below this video. If you're watching the replay, you can still comment consult below this video, because I'm going to come back and work through the comments. So you can get that 7-step document, so you can start building the consulting component to your business and add an extra stream of income to your business. And this should be able to pretty much work for any industry, very honestly. But if you have specific questions about what you do as a small business owner and how it can work in your industry, slide in my DM and let me know, and we can have a conversation. Okay. All right. I gotta hop off because I gotta hop on a meeting, but hopefully you all enjoyed this. And I might have to do a part two because I didn't get to everything, but hopefully you all enjoyed this preface of what I had to say about adding a consulting component to your business. And I'm just inviting you to think bigger. So we're here to thrive. You don't have to stay in survival mode. You have the option to determine to be different whenever you get ready. So these are skills and these are strategies that can help you thrive and look at your business a little bit more differently so you can be the enterprise that you desire to be and leave the impact that you desire to leave, as well as the legacy that you desire to leave, especially if you have children. Like these are the things that you should be thinking about, right? So I'll see y'all later. And the replay will be posted across all of my socials. And yeah, have an amazing day.